Intelligence manifests in surprising ways that go far beyond IQ tests or academic achievements. Modern neuroscience and psychology have uncovered fascinating correlations between certain habits, traits, and behaviors that indicate above-average cognitive abilities. Stay till the end for the most surprising indicator of intelligence that most people completely overlook. And if you're fascinated by human potential in psychology, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more. Let's explore the top 10 signs you're smarter than average, backed by science. 10. You're highly self-critical. Smart people often doubt themselves, while less skilled individuals tend to overestimate their abilities, a bias known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. Top performers underestimate their skills by about 20%, while bottom performers overestimate by nearly 50%. This self-doubt drives learning, as intelligent people recognize complexity and gaps in their knowledge. If you often question what you know, it's a strong sign of high intelligence. 9. You have strong pattern recognition across domains. Smart people see patterns across unrelated fields, like linking biology to economics. This cross-domain thinking is a stronger sign of intelligence than IQ. If you often make unusual connections that later make sense, it's a key marker of high intelligence. 8. You're chronically messy, but know where everything is. Einstein was right. Messy spaces can boost creativity. Studies show that a cluttered environment encourages unconventional thinking. Smart people often thrive in organized chaos, where others see disorder but they see a system. If your space looks messy but you know where everything is, it's a sign of creative intelligence. 7. You have a morbid or unusual sense of humor. If you enjoy dark, complex, or absurd humor, it may signal high intelligence. A study in cognitive processing found that people with higher cognitive abilities are more likely to appreciate black humor. That's because it takes advanced thinking and emotional control to find amusement in taboo or twisted jokes. If others often don't get your humor until you explain it, you're likely showing a sign of above-average intelligence. 6. You frequently talk to yourself. Talking to yourself isn't weird. It's a sign of high intelligence. Research from Bangor University shows that self-directed speech boosts memory, focus, and problem-solving. By engaging both language and thinking centers in your brain, you create stronger mental pathways. So if you talk through problems or narrate your thoughts when alone, you're actually using a powerful tool linked to higher cognitive ability. 5. You're chronically curious about ordinary things. While many people express curiosity about extraordinary phenomena, those with higher intelligence maintain fascination with seemingly mundane objects and processes. Research from the University of Edinburgh found that this micro-curiosity, persistent questioning about everyday objects and events, correlates more strongly with lifelong cognitive growth than traditional educational achievement. This manifests as asking questions like why doorknobs are positioned at standard heights or how grocery store inventory systems work, topics others consider too ordinary for investigation. The cognitive advantage comes from constantly building richer, more nuanced models of how the world operates at fundamental levels. If you find yourself regularly researching seemingly trivial questions, taking apart household items to understand their mechanisms, or asking basic questions others assume everyone knows, you're displaying a pattern strongly associated with above-average intelligence. 4. You have paradoxical sleep patterns. Both sleeping significantly more or significantly less than average can indicate higher intelligence, depending on sleep quality. Research from the University of Madrid found that individuals with IQs above 125 were more likely to be night owls, going to bed later and waking later than the general population. Conversely, a study from the University of Toronto found that highly intelligent people who maintained regular sleep schedules required less total sleep while reporting greater cognitive clarity. The connecting factor is sleep efficiency rather than duration. Intelligent brains process information more effectively during sleep, requiring either different timing or different amounts. The neurological basis involves more efficient memory consolidation during deep sleep phases. If you function optimally on either significantly more or less sleep than average, or if your natural sleep schedule differs markedly from conventional patterns. You're displaying a physiological pattern correlated with above-average intelligence. 3. You have strong sensory reactions. High intelligence often manifests as heightened sensory sensitivity that others mistake for overreaction. Research from the University of California found that sensory processing sensitivity, stronger reactions to physical stimuli like sounds, textures, and light, correlate significantly with several measures of cognitive ability. This isn't weakness, but rather greater informational bandwidth. Intelligent brains process more environmental data simultaneously. This manifests as noticing subtle ambient sounds others don't hear, finding certain textures unbearable, or being bothered by small visual imperfections. The neurological basis involves more robust connections between sensory processing areas and the prefrontal cortex. If you're frequently told you're too sensitive about physical stimuli, notice details others miss, or need to adjust your environment in ways others find unnecessary, you're displaying a neurological pattern strongly associated with above-average intelligence. 2. You worry more than average. While excessive anxiety indicates psychological distress rather than intelligence, moderate worrying strongly correlates with cognitive ability. Research from Lakehead University found that the tendency to mentally model potential future problems, constructive worrying, predicts higher verbal intelligence. This connection exists because anticipating possible negative outcomes requires sophisticated mental simulation capabilities. The cognitive advantage comes from this preparation for multiple scenarios, enabling faster adaptation when problems occur. However, this same mental ability creates vulnerability to anxiety when constructive worrying becomes excessive rumination. If you find yourself naturally considering potential problems others dismiss, creating contingency plans just in case, or thinking through worst-case scenarios when making decisions, you're engaging in a thought pattern strongly associated with above-average intelligence, provided it doesn't paralyze your action-taking ability. 1. You change your mind when presented with evidence. Perhaps the most overlooked yet scientifically valid indicator of intelligence is willingness to revise beliefs when confronted with contradictory evidence. Stanford University research demonstrated that this cognitive flexibility correlates more strongly with general intelligence than any other measured factor. This manifests as acknowledging when you're wrong, updating your opinions based on new information, and feeling comfortable abandoning positions you previously defended. The cognitive advantage comes from maintaining more accurate mental models of reality, which enable better predictions and decisions. The neurological basis involves stronger connections between the prefrontal cortex, logical reasoning, and the anterior cingulate cortex, conflict detection. If you change significant beliefs over time based on evidence, feel comfortable saying, "I was wrong," without defensiveness, or regularly seek information that might contradict your current understanding, you're displaying the single strongest marker of above-average intelligence recognized in contemporary cognitive science. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thanks for watching.